Oh, wow. I'm already on to my last one.
Yeah.
All right. This is Jaguar.
Oh, the
Classic?
recent one.
Yeah,
And
classic.
I actually think this one is incredibly interesting because I think people might be missing the forest for the trees on this
Okay,
one.
before you say the actual situation, I want to say, I make fun of the joke all the time. This is a brand where I might say they've gone too woke. This is something where it's like, in my heart of hearts, I'm like, does this make sense? Is this too woke? Is this what Jaguar is going to...
You're the guy.
I'm the guy.
You're the guy.
Robbie Starbuck's comments going, talk more about Jaguar.
Drift away. Drift away. Okay.
Tell me the truth. Okay.
Let's take just the surface level reaction to this, right?
Okay.
I believe what they did, they announced the rebrand. Wasn't it at the Super Bowl? Wasn't this a Super Bowl ad when
This
they
was
initially showed it?
last year, right? This is like
at
9
the
months
end of
ago.
last
Perry,
year?
if you pull this up, we're gonna have this on the background. Like it is extremely
It was an extreme
bizarre.
departure, I will
It
say.
is incredibly bizarre.
It is a crazy ad for a car company. You have no idea that it's going to be Jaguar until the very end. You don't see, I believe, a single car in this ad until the very end.
It's like a Wes Anderson film.
Yeah.
Like everybody is dressed like a Tropicana carton.
Everybody is
It says
The good Tropicana.
everybody is dressed how Tropicana should have stayed.
I'm sorry,
the
there
whole
was
time.
no car. That's just a
There's
rock at the
no
end.
car.
No,
and
there's
this is at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no car in the ad the entire time. This ad received a lot of controversy when it came out because people were like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Like there's no car. You're not showing us anything except this new logo. And then also, as of April of 2025, there was a 98% drop in sales in Europe of Jaguars.
Wow.
They went from selling 1,960 units in April 24 to 49 in April of 25.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, that initially looks really bad, right?
It does.
But the reason that that's the case is because they stopped making cars after this rebrand. They no longer produced anymore. They actually didn't have many cars to
That's
sell,
why
period.
There's no car in
cars.
the ad because they they couldn't afford one.
What would have been cool though is if they said what they do now.
Yeah, what
you
do
know,
they
like
do?
if they
Yeah, which you don't get from this ad. But the whole point of this campaign and this repositioning is Jaguar has been going downhill in terms of their sales for a long, long time. This is not a powerful brand that is, heavily recognized or has the oomph that it used to decades ago. And they're realizing that they need to seriously reposition themselves. The parent company of Jaguar is a company called Tata of India.
Yeah.
And the overall owner also happens to own Land Rover, and their huge moneymaker is the Range Rover. And Jaguar's vehicles and the SUV that Jaguar tried to produce and enter into the popular SUV market was not performing well. And it wasn't making the company any money. So they're like, you guys need to re-strategize. So the plan right now with this rebrand is they're pivoting away from their old existing customer base. They're going in a completely new direction where they go for more expensive, higher end, all electric luxury vehicles. And they don't have an actual model officially announced right now. They have a placeholder, concept model that they've shown off, but I think they're not releasing or showing the new actual car they're going to sell until later this year. While a lot of people point to this huge dip in sales as an indication of this brand falling off, a lot of the feedback and people shitting on this are people realistically not in the market to buy a Jaguar to begin with, especially this newly positioned Jaguar that's going to be presumably even more expensive, right? You only need to appeal to a pretty niche market to make your new luxury car very successful. And they're like, we can't continue to run it down this old route. We're reinventing the brand entirely. So the other thing that the benefit here and the gamble that has yet to be seen if it pays off is when they start selling the new vehicle, all of this attention that has been driven to the brand because of this rebrand and because of this new position is bringing the brand into a conversation that it hasn't been a part of in a really long time. Nobody was talking about Jaguar for years before this, but now people talk about this brand because of how out there and ridiculous this is. And people are kind of excited to see, well, what is the actual car you're going to release with all this hubbub? The payoff of this is if this new angle of the company, which is completely reinventing the direction of the company, will actually pay off. So I want to treat this a bit better than I think most would. I think
S-tier.
I'd be willing to put this in, I would be willing to put this in C because there's no version of the old company that was going to continue succeeding in my mind. And I think they haven't, and the product that they're creating under this rebrand hasn't actually released yet. So I think to fully judge it as a failure is wrong.
Okay, so if our show starts failing and we put up an ad that says delete ordinary and it's just us shoveling piles of feces around and we say we don't release what the show is, we're just shoveling feces. And the argument is, well, the show was dying anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely real with you. I think that would totally work. If we took
delete ordinary.
If we released that ad, took the show off air for 6 months, and then came out with a new show where the first episode of us is like shoveling and flinging shit around, that would get so many views. So,
okay, you're right. C tier, D tier is good. It's good. I'm actually sold. Yeah. Okay, I'm sold.
You convinced me. D tier.
Next to Johnson & Johnson. All right, I got one that maybe you guys haven't been thinking about. Rebrands. They're all about appealing to modern sensitivity. You know what's been trending downward recently?
Tell me, Doug.
War.
War's been trending downward.
That's why when the U.S. government rebranded from Department of War to Department of Defense, it was an extremely valuable rebrand because now people don't think that we're an aggressor. And it's cool because you can say things like, oh, we went on the defense in Vietnam.
It used to be called the Department of War?
Up until 1949. The U.S. government called it the Department of War. After World War II, we changed to the Department of Defense, which is ironic because that's when we stopped being defensive as a country. It started doing all sorts of offense.
Yeah, didn't we literally go? We literally went the opposite after that point.
That's when we stopped doing.
This is like spin in my head. I'm sending you a link, Perry. Can you please pull that? This is an insane poll. This is from 30 minutes ago. As of 30 minutes ago, Trump wants to rename the Department of Defense back to the Department of War.
Damn. Wow, how topical.
That's crazy.
So
should we bring it back?
Here's my pitch. We do time things really well with Trump doing weird things that relate to what we're talking about. I would argue that the name should reflect what you do, which is war. And as much as I'm personally, I'm a villain share. I'm not a big fan of war, but I don't think that calling it defense and then doing war is actually a very good thing. I don't think if Tropicana renamed themselves to Jaguar cars but kept selling orange juice, that's a good rebrand.
What if imagine this. 1949, would they create the Department of Defense, but we also create the Department of Attack. How do you feel about that?
Those guys are assholes of the Department of Attack. They're so aggressive.
We hate the DOA.
Well, you know what? I don't actually think the perception on war has changed very much. I would say this is not a successful rebrand. I would go to B or A.
Wait, so I was going to push back on this because in a way, I think subconsciously they were probably effective in what they wanted to accomplish, right? It's like Department of Defense is much more palatable. I think it sends a different message when you hear the name, and the intention behind the rebrand was probably successful. Like, I just think about the way I view the DoD passively versus the way that I would think about a Department of War.
I guess if it has Department of War in the name, it's a little more like, oh man, or somebody saying like, oh, I'm going to work for the DoD or we have a contract with the DoD. Yeah. It's like,
I think there's two ways to evaluate this, right? Is like, if you're evaluating the rebrand's success on honesty, I would agree with you. I'd put this in like S or A. But if you were evaluating this rebrand on success of its effectiveness of its intended purpose.
No, you've convinced me.
I think it was effective.
Man. I would actually maybe put this in D. I think this is maybe a really smart rebrand. Yeah.
I think it's a smart rebrand. I hope we don't go back to Department of War. Just sounds so. It sounds.
Wait, I have a question. Why did we put the shack in D again?
Because they were dead anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so okay.
It didn't. Yeah, it's funny to see the shack in the Department of Defense.
Also, another reason this should be in D is because, like, from a business perspective, the DoD makes more money than ever before.
Yeah, and spends more money than ever before.
Okay, one thing we wanted to touch on at the end of this segment was quickly talk about.
I got one more. I got my last
rebrand.
Oh,
my bad.
I got a third. This is the one I use the most every day, and 2 years on, still haven't started calling it X. Twitter to X. This rebrand, 2 years on.
This is truly one of the worst.
Yeah. 55% of Americans still call it Twitter. I still call it Twitter. When I go to this website, I type in twitter.com and it redirects me to that. I haven't stopped. I haven't changed one iota. When he did this big rebrand and rebought the company, I'm not going to talk about like the performance of the company so much. He said it was going to be an everything app. It was going to be way different than it was before.
Oh, I know about the everything app.
And 2 years later, it's the same app. I mean, it is, you post messages and retweets and I'm not using it for banking.
It's got everything. It's got calls. It's got Grok. It's got You can send your money on it.
And
you
calls on it?
You can hire people on it. It's the everything app now.
You can get Grok to make you any image. Everything.
You
can make an image of your banking.
Twitter before couldn't make Mario smoking weed. After could.
And that's why this logo had to die. People still call them tweets, by the way. Now it's just posts. So I find the rebrand to be pretty ugly, and I want to remind people of this image that came out right after the rebrand that I still think rings true, which is this. This is a guy showing his browser. These are all porn except one. That one's Twitter. And I think that really sums up just how seedy this website is. The weird black X, the logo on the app has like scratches on it. It looks like it's a drug selling. Like it looks.
It's kind of fair, right? Because it's mostly porn now. It's so much of it's porn.
Elon every day is retweeting like scandalous anime girls made
He
with
really
Grok.
has gone into that lately.
Wait, is he?
Yeah, I think this is probably not coincidence that he landed on X. He appears to be like a mega gooner, like a super hardcore gooner.
My breaking point was when I opened a post that was about the new Spider-Man video game on like PS5, and the top reply was someone getting fucked. Like just bear pack. And I was like, I can't even open this Spider-Man post anymore. Like,
yeah, I used to do this segment called Best Tweets on stream where people would submit funny ones and we'd react to them. And I used to scroll down to read the comments. I can't do it. It's too risky.
Yeah.
I can only look at the post and I can't scroll down anymore, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of fucking crazy. This has become such a minefield. I wouldn't say Twitter is a well-run, great company. I think, I have many bad things to say about it.
Yeah,
but
before
like,
Elon made it woke.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys.
X is too woke.
Because I think there is a layer of pushback here because Elon is the person who decided to do it. So just come visit the world where it's not Elon who took over Twitter and it's just the old company deciding to change the name to this. Do you think we're still in the same situation?
I would like to believe I'm viewing this without Elon hate eyes. And I think, part of it's the porn, but I think actually less than that is it sounds too much like a placeholder. Like that's why I think people still aren't calling it X. They're calling it Twitter because X sounds like that's literally what you use as a placeholder in math or anything else. If he called it, I don't know, Elon's Funhouse or something, like that's at least a different thing. But X doesn't feel like a different thing. It feels like, oh, we're using shorthand.
You see that post on EFH?
What?
Elon's Funhouse.
Like that would have stuck way more than X. Nobody calls it X. That's what I think is so dumb about
the word tweet. Like, did you see that tweet? Makes sense to me. I know exactly what website you're talking about and platform and what you mean.
And X doesn't have any of that. It's one letter. It's
calling it post could be anywhere.
I think that was this is what I thought about too. Is like I think even if Elon had nothing to do with it, I don't think I would have changed my language around the site because the word tweet specifically more than Twitter became so. Tweet became like the phrase Googling something.
Yeah.
It's just the way you say what that type of post is. It's like, it is the word for a post that is dispersed out to the masses.
It's insanely powerful brand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like when Xerox became synonymous with copying something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that is such a big deal. Your brand is so locked in. And to throw it away so you could have this weird fucking X, I think it's a terrible branding choice. I want to put it in S, but I could also be down for A. I don't know what you guys think.
I would say S. This is one of the worst rebrands to me. I think setting aside from Elon, for me personally, it's just strictly the value of it just is awful.
I think I agree with your reasoning is like the placeholderiness plays such a big part in it. It feels useless. There was no reason. And also you could point to all the metric failures of the company after this change.
So let me villain share myself. I'm going to give one counterpoint. So this company was worth $44 billion when Elon bought it under Twitter.
Right.
He made all these changes. He fired a lot of people. He lost a lot of advertisers. The CEO quit, yada, yada, yada. By all metrics that they could measure, because it's a private company, so it's hard to tell, it was down 70 to 80% in value. They lost billions of dollars. But then he sold it to himself for $44 billion. So he lost no money. So by all metrics, X is worth exactly the same as Twitter.
God, come on.
This rebrand is actually perfect and there's no flaws. I'm putting it in D.
I want to go S.
I would go S. I think it is one of the worst. All right, well, before we move on to our good ones, we also brought a couple just so we're not, just ragging on things all the time.
Yeah.
We now come back to Cracker Barrel. We've gotten some history. This has actually been really informative. I've enjoyed this a lot.
These were good.
I don't know how you guys feel. I do not think this is one of the worst rebrands of all time, but it's kind of up there. I do not think it's as bad as Tropicana or X, but I think it's on the same as AIDS and HBO Max. And here's my argument. I think HBO Max to Max, that's changing the branding in a way that's confusing, but the product stayed the same. With Cracker Barrel, what they are doing is changing the style, and that's the only appeal of their company in the first place. So I think they're dropping the fundamental product entirely.
I'd say Cracker Barrel's AIDS.
Cracker Barrel.
Up in A tier. Congratulations, Cracker Barrel.
Cracker
you
Barrel.
are not the
You
worst
are
rebrand of all
officially
time.
woke.
But you are slightly less woke than X.com.
One caveat. If 1 week from now they roll it back, let's put it with Gap because it's the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if they roll it
I
back.
feel like they're going to roll it back, but we'll see.
We'll see.